Why should voters select you over your opponent?
I think that I can bring a lot of people into the fold. I have been through a lot in my very short life. I mean, we are about the same age, so we can probably bring about the same generation of voters in. But at the same time, the kind of work experience that I have is vast. I have 12 plus years of working in so many varied industries, including fishing industries, including manufacturing, including retail, including customer service industries. And on top of that, I also have a bachelor's in biochemistry, molecular biology, and biotechnology, and a bachelor's of science in psychology. On top of that, I also am on my way to getting my JD. And with all of those different life experiences and skills, I can bring a very unique perspective to legislation in Congress. I also really, like, my main priority is getting people involved in politics so it's not cumbersome for them. It is not the regular citizen's job to sit there and analyze policy decisions 24/7. They're not supposed to be watching 15, 16 hours of news just to figure out what's going on. But more recently, actually somebody from Riggins, Kim, ended up writing about how she was so worried about her business and how everything was going. And the fact that she didn't know who to trust or what place to go to for valid information is a huge problem we have in this country. It is absolutely not okay. And as a representative, what I'm going to do, what I am going to absolutely prioritize is make sure that every single person in my district, whether they're Democrat, whether they're Republican, whether they are a child who is 5 years old and has a question, is going to have access to me. And I'm going to do that through town halls. And I'm going to do that through setting up an infrastructure that I don't feel like we have right now. Because it feels like the federal government is so far away, but it has so much to do with everything that you're doing in your life. Every single aspect of your life is impacted by politics. And we see this right now with everything that's happening with COVID-19. If we have an adequate response to it, we could have kept a lot of what we're seeing, all the fallout from getting as bad as it was. And we could have opened up our country a lot earlier without having to make a decision of, do millions of people die, or are we going to lose all these small businesses? So these are real problems that we can't ignore. And I think that I can absolutely say that for the next 2 years, if elected, I am going to spend every waking moment trying to fix these problems that we have and make sure that people know that there is somebody who is championing for them in Congress, because that is the most important thing right now, to make sure that we have effective legislation and that our federal government is working for us.
Well, I just want to start off by thanking Staniela for being in the race. You jumped in really last minute, but I'm glad you did, because part of why I'm running is because I didn't see someone else. I think there's a lot of incredible people who could and should be a candidate for office, even people that are not currently serving in office, business leaders, doctors. There's a lot of people that are proving themselves worthy of that honor and opportunity. I didn't see someone serious enough to be able to compete against the incumbent Russ Fulcher. So that's part of why I jumped in. And so I believe that people deserve more options. And so that's why I'm glad that Staniela's in the race. And I pledge that if, I'm chosen over Staniela, I pledge to continue the conversation with you and to adopt parts of your policy platform that I think are popular amongst segments of our society, especially students, and the need for student loan reform. So you'll get both of whatever you are passionate about that she's speaking to. You'll get that with me as well, to the extent that I think it reflects the values and interests of all Idahoans. With me, you also have somebody who has a non-traditional background. I was born and raised in Nampa. came up here. I know the community. I have deep roots from being the descendant of a tribal chief from the Shoshone-Bannock tribe. I'm also the son of a Mexican immigrant. I know, from him the value of, working hard. And, I've had a lot of work experiences that touch different segments of society that prepare me in a more serious way to handle the job. I've worked in Congress longer than Russ Fulcher, actually, at a staff level and dealing more with the details so that's different. But I bring more experience to the table that makes me qualified and competent to handle the roles and the responsibilities of the job.